All right, who's next? How about Jim?
Thank you. Good to be here.
Look,
I'd like to just first.
you got all dressed up for this. Look at this. You wearing a
Yeah, that's
tie?
right. That's right.
Thank you.
Um, let's see. I like to use my first 30 seconds or so reading a paragraph or two from the founder of this company, Sweet Pea. I don't know if you're familiar with it, Doctor, and I've ordered some meals from there, and I haven't gotten them yet, but I can report back later. And what it says is, this is from Mike Linehan, who's started the company. Says, "Why am I starting a plant-based meals company?" It's a local company. They're on East Avenue.
Right.
That's where you pick up the food, anyways. The journey began when a close friend told me he was going to avoid heart bypass surgery by switching to a whole food, plant-based lifestyle. WFPB. At the time, I had never heard of such a thing and thought he was crazy. I thought he should have the surgery. Several months went by, the blockages reduced, he no longer required bypass surgery. This blew me away. I have struggled with being overweight for my entire life and have tried every diet out there. I thought to myself, maybe this is my opportunity to be healthy. I decided to try eating a WFPB for 10 days. On the eighth morning, I got out of bed and could not believe how I felt. All the joint pain I had been experiencing over the last 5 years was completely gone. I felt like a kid. I'll stop there on Mike Linehan's story, and talk about my own. Um, so it just I think I'm a cautionary tale for somebody who is asymptomatic in the midst of this pandemic, where we have a lot of cautionary tales about people that are asymptomatic. I'm 60 years old, and I was trying to look for the exact date, but I think it was like about August 15th. I went in to see my doctor after he had suggested that I get a calcium scoring test. Like basically, doctor could speak better to it than me, but plaque or junk in your arteries, and is my understanding of it. And I'm mentioning this as a cautionary tale also, that he had requested it, that I get it done, kind of like in the bottom of my lab, physical, after the end of my physical. And I didn't get it done because I just didn't notice it. But I wanted to get life insurance, a new policy, and they required a physical. And they said, well, what was your score on that calcium scoring test? And I said, I don't know what you're talking about. Long story short, mate got back in touch with the doctor and got the test done. And it was, I don't even like talking about how high it was, to be honest with you. It was very, very high. And talk about 400 as being concerning, over 400 being concerning, and it was way above that. And that, and this, my doctor, use his name, is Dr. Maggio, suggested Rochester Lifestyle Medicine, and he is specifically the Jumpstart program. And so, in conjunction with getting some pretty serious tests done, stress tests, and what's a nuclear stress test, and a ultrasound, and then ultimately an angiogram. I was, as you know, doctor, during this time, I was also involved in the Jumpstart program. And as my mom would say, get to the good part. As far as the test result, I had a 50% blockage, but they did not feel the need for a stent, and certainly didn't feel the need for bypass. And so I felt very, very grateful about that. So I'd have to say, I'd like to give you exact number of days or whatever, but I'd say at least a month, maybe 5 weeks, I've been basically on this plant-based diet. I just finished the 15 days, a few days back, I guess, right, doctor, this past weekend.
Sure. Yeah.
But I had started a couple weeks before that, based on my doctor's suggestion. Now, first of all, I plan on doing it my entire life. It was kind of like, just my eyes were open, and there's no motivator like fear, but they're really open in terms of like looking back on my diet, separate and apart from, my diagnosis and whatever, just like, it's just crazy, it wasn't crazy. It was sad, right? it was the standard American diet. I ate like I was 19, and milkshakes, cheeseburgers, whatever, a lot of red meat, steaks, whatever, a lot of processed food, a lot of cheese, a lot of dairy, love cheese. But I never put on, never got really heavy. I think I'm naturally somewhat thin, but definitely got the weight around the stomach. But, little did I know, I don't even know if the doctors will be able to tell me, but, I believe that to a very large extent, my issues with the calcium, et cetera, and my arteries were diet related. And I'd stopped smoking. I was a smoker, but maybe 25, years ago or so, 30 years ago maybe. And but that may have played a part. But so, I want to every day, the rest of my life, rest of the time the good Lord gives me, as they say, I want to be on a plant-based food diet. And let's see, and how am I doing the afterwards?
Yeah, how do you feel? How do you feel now?
I feel good. I do. I haven't. It was just in the connection with one of the procedures. I looked at the weight, and I had been about 213 or so before I started, roughly, and then I don't know, a couple weeks ago or so, I was like 194, I think, when I checked in, and so there.
You've lost a lot of. You've lost a lot of weight.
I did. I have lost a good amount of weight. I can really see it too. It's right. I can look straight down and see, whatever. But
so are you feeling hungry?
I am not feeling hungry. I'm really not. I tried to get in the habit, and I think I have succeeded of having apples or blueberries or something in between meals as snacks. I try to eat more frequently, which really wasn't my thing. A lot of times I'd skip meals beforehand, but then I just kind of gorge myself, and so that's changed, and it's a new habit of mine. I want to, and I'm just not trying to butter you up there, doctor, but I want to, as I've said to you before, incorporate your habit of just whatever, watching TV or doing whatever, like having the green leafy vegetables, and I really just believe that's a habit. Just like a bad habit's a habit, a good habit's a habit, and we can get into it. And so I want to do it. But good energy level. I'm reasonably confident that I can turn my health stuff around as far as heart and artery issues, and through this diet, through regular walking and that kind of thing. And
Jim,
I'm looking forward to. I'm taking a statin and lisinopril and a baby aspirin.
Okay.
And I'm looking forward to perhaps not having to take the blood pressure medicine sometime down the road. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I feel very good. I'm very grateful for this program. And I love the support of everybody here.
Oh, you're quite welcome, Jim. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's wonderful to hear your story. Really, really wonderful.